Welcome to the conversation that's as diverse as the dogs that we adore. This is Gundogs and Guard Dogs, the ultimate podcast dedicated to talking sense about dogs, with Les Graham and Ross McCarthy, both dog behaviourists and trainers for longer than they care to mention, with fingers in more pies than you would believe. And both are passionate about dogs, people, education and exploring the fascinating world of the dog. From the wild north in bonny Scotland to the busy streets and parks of inner city London, between them they've seen it all. Well, maybe not everything, but definitely more than they ever wanted to. They work with all breeds of dog, but one specialises in Gundogs and the other prefers Guard Dogs. And yes, just like their dogs, they're as different as chalk and cheese, but they celebrate their many differences as well as their united togetherness. No flashy trends or social media hype here, just tried and true knowledge that stands the test of time. As they delve into the practicalities of training, behaviour and responsible dog ownership with candid discourse that cuts through the noise, they bring you valuable insights and honest conversations about the social predator you share your home with. About 45 minutes of Gundogs, Guard Dogs, good dogs, some maybe not so good dogs, and a dash of gossip. Please like, share and subscribe and help us spread a bit of common sense back into dog ownership. Any dog related questions or topics, just drop an email to talk@cfba.uk or message us via facebook.com/Gundogs and Guard Dogs podcast.
Good morning, or good afternoon, or whenever it is you're listening to this.
Good evening, goodbye.
That was a bit posh, wasn't it?
It was a very nice little introduction.
Little.
Yeah, that's good. So here we are then on our first episode.
I know, it's really exciting. And today we said what we'd do is do like a proper intro for us, because we've been around the block a few times and some people know more about us than others. So it was going to be all about us today, wasn't it? And dogs, of course, but all about us.
I think so. All about us. Who is Les Graham and who is Ross McCarthy? So people know what we've done, really. Because like you said, we've done, I've known you, I think, probably about 20 years. And we've done quite a lot of stuff, both together and obviously separately as well. So we've got, earned our stripes, so to speak. I think that's your phrase, isn't it?
Yeah, earned your stripes, definitely. Although I am normally talking about stretch marks and tiger stripes, but you know.
Oh, yeah, I've earned those as well.
So, oh my God, so where do we start? Should we just start with when we met?
Yeah, let's do that. I remember, actually, I met you, I can't remember how long you've been back in the UK, but you applied to join the Canine Feline Behaviour Association.
I did.
And then I remember, for some reason, I had to, your application was accepted and whatever, and for some reason I had to call you and we had a chat on the phone, didn't we?
We did.
And then I think you came up and did a workshop with us.
I did. So I can remember talking to you over the phone. It was just after you lost Zach.
That's right. Yeah, it was.
Because we were talking about Zach on the phone and I didn't know much about you. I didn't know much about you at all, other than I saw a report that you did in Dog Training Weekly, where all the obedience schedules and stuff.
Oh, wow, that was a while ago. Oh, of course it was, yeah.
I was living in New Zealand at the time when I got it. I was getting ready for coming home and I'd read about you in this article. it was so funny because it was like and you did a 15-page report and you did this and you did that, and I thought, well, why didn't you just tell her to rehome the dog? And I can remember it really clearly. And then when I spoke to you over the phone, and again I didn't know you were writing for like Dogs Monthly at the time, and all of the videos and everything that you'd done, and we had a little chat, and then Colin said to join the CFBA I had to do one module to prove that I'd work with aggressive dogs. And right. I was working with aggressive dogs, and you had to do the follow-up, didn't you, with my clients and everything, to get testimonials from my vet. And and I can remember coming to the workshop and saying, oh, I'm really sorry, have you got many photos of your dog? and then afterwards, of course, I saw these photos of you and videos, and it was like, Okay. Maybe
Yeah.
he's got one or two of his dogs. Because my first dog, I've only got like 5 photos of her, you
Oh,
know.
have you?
So I it wasn't so much like, oh my God, this is Ross McCarthy. It's like, oh God, the poor guy's just lost his dog. Has he got any photos of it?
Yeah, one or two
Whereas
pictures
everybody
in-
else on the course was like, oh my God, it's Ross McCarthy. I was just like, poor guy's just lost his dog.
Oh God. Yeah, no, I've definitely got one or two pictures in books and lots of films and all sorts of stuff, as you now know.
Uh-huh. So
Yeah.
I can remember when we met. I can remember being quite shy around you, and I know, like my personality, picking up on energy and everything. Um, I get quite shy about people who I know are going to be important at some point in my life. Like when I first met Sandy Gannon, I could
Mhm.
hardly string a sentence together, and we ended up like being best mates, you know.
Yeah. No, it's fascinating, isn't it? It's interesting.
Mm.
So what did you do before that? What brought you to well, the UK, to the CFBA and all of that stuff? How did that happen?
Well, when I was in New Zealand and I knew I was coming home, I did a compass course, which wasn't the best. But I did the course, and then I joined Pact, which was being run by Stan Rawlinson and his brother Paul Rawlinson. And I met Sue Fryer, who's in the guild, and I met Nick Jones as well.
Okay.
And so I was part of Pact when I was still in New Zealand. And then when I come home, chatting to Nick Jones and everything, he said, oh no, before that, I finished my compass course when I was in New Zealand, and then I came back and I went on a animal behaviour course at Sparshalt. It was an animal behaviour degree.
Mhm.
And I left because the woman who was tutoring didn't know anything about dogs, basically. She couldn't train a dog. It was full of people who wanted to be dog behaviourists. And yet only 5% of the course was on dogs. We had a day observing spider monkeys, and we had to cut up a fetal pig, and we had to cut up a stallion's eyeball, and we
That's
had
really
to
helpful and relevant, isn't it, to the
observe
world of dog
cows. Yeah,
behaviour?
we had to stand in a cow shed for like 4 hours and watch the cows.
No wonder you left.
No dogs. And her degree was all about the African elephants and the different how the ears change shape and stuff. But she didn't have the depth of knowledge and the substance behind her, you know. So she would talk straight off the PowerPoint. She wouldn't elaborate on what was on the screen. She would stand behind you and just read what was on the screen. And I can remember my first assignment when I put in, because, like, you know, 1993, the taxonomy of the dog was changed from Canis familiaris to Canis lupus familiaris to recognise and acknowledge the subsection of being a part of the wolf family.
Mm-hmm.
And I put this in my assignment, and she marked me down. She was quite terse about it, because the vets of Bristol said, and we know all about, you know, the vets of Bristol and how they had influence with Cork. They said it wasn't. It was called Canis familiaris, and so she marked me down massively. And I thought, you know, I've had enough of this. They obviously don't know enough about dogs to be able to teach me anything. And the other thing is, I was busy writing the pet Gundog at the time, and she said, and I don't know anything about any of your opinions. I'm only interested in published authors. If they're not published, don't tell me anything. And I
Nice.
thought, wow, really arrogant. So I spoke to Nick Jones at the time, and he says, oh, you should be part of the CFBA, Les. You're working with aggressive dogs, you're doing this, you're doing that. And he said, give Colin a 10 ring. So I did.
And that was that.
And Colin said, you've got to come on a course. I've got to see what your work's like. I've got to work out your knowledge base, blah, blah, blah. And I had a week to submit the assignment and get up to the course.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I know. There you go.
Yeah. Very
That's
cool.
how I came to CFBA.
Yeah. And yeah, then it wasn't long, was it, before we started working together teaching?
Yeah, we rewrote, was it Essential Dog or something?
Oh yeah, I think we had basic dog handling, didn't we? And
That
professional
became
instructor
basic,
skills.
and we did basic and professional instructor skills.
Yeah.
and we sat in a coffee shop, Costa,
Costa.
writing and making workshops up and courses up, didn't we?
What was that? Costa and Newbury.
Costa and Newbury, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we did, and that's
Because I
it.
used to get brain freeze all the time. You used to laugh at me.
We were always getting, well, we used to get coffeeed out, didn't we? Had so much coffee, then we move on to smoothies or whatever.
And what about, so that's how that was like the build up to meeting you. And what was it from your side?
What, from the very beginning?
Well, we can go all the way back to dog walking when we were kids if you want.
We'll do that then. So yeah, that's like a lot of people actually, like a lot of people start like that. So I started when I was about 8, knocking on people's doors, pound a walk for a dog. Did that for a good few years. Worked at Hearing Dogs for Deaf People at the weekend, cleaning kennels and watching the training and stuff like that. And then through a friend of a friend, I was offered an interview at the Canine Behaviour Centre for 2 days a week, and to study dog behaviour in exchange for cleaning kennels, doing all, feeding dogs, picking up poo, all that stuff. So I did that. So I did that 2 days a week, worked 90 hours in another job as well as at the same time. Did that for about 3 years. And then finally transitioned from sort of part-time work in another industry to full-time with dogs and training classes and behaviour consults and stuff like that.
Wow.
So yeah, always. I mean, my normal answer is people say, "How did you get involved?" I just say I was a weird kid. I was just fascinated by dogs and sort of anything to do with dogs, really. So yeah, really blessed actually to have been able to do kind of what I wanted to do, which not everybody can they?
And it's funny because I used to walk the dogs, the Mrs. Brooks. I used to walk Mrs. Brooks's dog, Lassie. I never charged her.
Oh, you missed the trick. I bought at my first house. I put down a deposit with all my dog walking money.
Wow. Whereas I didn't. I think I just played with her and then I got my own dog.
Yeah,
and that was it.
When you got your own, you walk that instead, don't you? But
you wore that instead, which is what I did. So
that was right. £1 a walk. It was quite lucrative back in the day. I walked about I don't know, it's about 7 or 8 dogs. So 7 or 8 quid a day. Not bad, was it?
Not bad.
Back in the day when 10 B&H had cost you 99 pence.
I know. Yeah. No, that was God, that was interesting. But yeah, no, I didn't charge. I just used to walk a dog for love. I did it for love.
Yeah, well, I'd probably, to be fair, if they'd said no, we're not paying you, I'd have done it anyway. So. Just handy to earn a few quid as well. So no, it's nice, and you learn a lot, don't you? But back in the day, then there weren't any. I mean, it's completely different to now. There weren't any courses on dog training or dog behaviour. There was the British Institute of Professional Dog Trainers. That's where you'd go to, to get your certificate to be a dog trainer. You'd have to do a few of those courses. Compass, you mentioned, that was one of the courses that sort of came out. And I think, to be honest, that's why CIDPT started, was because, well, like your experience with your own behaviour degree and things, people were being taught by people that had never worked in the industry, never done anything. And I think we all just felt that was really unjust and kind of immoral, really.
Yeah, definitely it. But I get really frustrated because here we are, like 20 plus year, and you can still buy a course on Udemy for £12.50 for 4.5 hours and call yourself a dog trainer at the end of it, which I think is absolutely appalling.
Yeah. No, there are, there's lots of, there's loads of courses, aren't there? Like you said, 25 quid. They have these, loads of them do like a special deal, 25 quid this week. You can become a fully qualified
dog trainer by sitting at your desk and watching 4 hours of videos.
And
you pay a little bit more, you can get another 2 hours and be qualified to work with aggressive dogs.
Yeah. It's really dangerous, and it's no wonder these things, serious things happen. I mean, even after, I've been doing this for about 27 years now, kind of full-time, going into people's homes with dogs and things. And even now, you never know what you're walking into. No. You still get, you still have to kind of problem solve. It's not just, even after sort of with that experience, it's not just an easy ride, is it? You see these really difficult cases, and you really have to kind of figure out what's going on and what on earth we're going to do about it. And how you do that when you've done a course for 3 hours, or one of these other things, studying the ears of an African elephant.
I know
how that, how people do it and do it safely. And I think, to be honest with you, that does show in a lot of the results, a lot of phone calls that we get. People that have seen 2 or 3 dog trainers. I had a phone call yesterday. A lady, she's got problems with a cocker spaniel, barking in the hallway of her apartment building, lunging at bigger dogs and things like that. And I've sent her information about, an appointment and what we do and stuff. And she wanted to speak to me first because she'd already seen somebody who had recommended a head collar and to avoid all dogs. Well, she lives in central London, right by Battersea Park. You can't avoid.
That's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, what are you going to do? I mean, hide behind buses and run in front of taxis and things. So, I think that it's all reflected in the advice that people get, because people just don't know. They give the advice that they give, and that's it.
And with social media as well, it's all style, no substance, is what I'm finding.
Yeah, I suppose like the rest of Britain, it's all a bit of a mess, isn't it? But it is. It's got a lot of people on social media just for the hype, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
just to promote their brand or whatever they do it for. I don't know. I'm not really that fussed about social media. We dibble and dabble like we're told to, but some people just do it as a full-time job, don't they? Literally.
It can be really exhausting. I mean, I do my social media once a month and I'm done.
Yeah.
And I'm done. That's it.
And does it help you? Does it help you, your business and everything else? Well, I suppose it does, because you continue to do it.
Yeah, partly I do it for my business, but mainly I do it for education. Like all of the posts that I put out, the educational posts, they're not just like, look at me, aren't I awesome? It's if you're having this problem, then look at this or look at that. I mean, the one that always goes down really well is in the summer when I go, if you can see your dog's dangly bits, slap some sun cream on them. But up until I started putting that post out, nobody even considered putting sun cream on a dog's nuts.
No, it's good. I always know when it gets warm in Scotland, because I see that post. I'm like, get a sun cream out again. Here we go.
Get your sun cream out, slam it on the dog.
Summer's on the way.
You can now get sun cream for dogs, whereas when I first started putting that out, you couldn't get them.
No.
And I've been putting that out for about 10 years.
No, I know. Well, I know. I saw a dog the other day, a white, I can't remember, I think it was bull breed, and we were out and I was like, oh, better get some sun cream on those.
It's funny, isn't it? Because do you remember the Mighty Moss?
Oh. I mean, I don't neuter my dogs, but if he was mine, I'd have him neutered for sure. I mean, they used to drag on the ground.
I was watching a video of him the other day, and like he ran, and it was literally like,
yeah, like having 2 tails.
It's like something out of this, Buster Gonard and his unfeasibly large testicles.
I remember when I first saw him, because obviously we did our master's degree together in 2011, was it? We graduated?
Yeah, we graduated then. We filmed earlier than that, yeah.
So it came down to you, 2009 or whatever it was, to film your project, and along with Kenny. And that's when I first saw Moss, and I was like, Jesus, what? I don't think I'd ever seen
your eyes off them.
No, I don't think I'd ever seen anything quite like it. I was just like, why would you not have your dog neutered? I mean, you'd have. Well, he did in the end, didn't he? Did he?
He did neuter in the end. But I know, and it was a shocker for you. It was a shocker for you.
No one had warned me about the Mighty Moss. I just thought we'd just go and field a few Gundogs. Nothing.
It was a really good project. It was good.
It was a really good project. It was a very clever idea for you to do, and it was really good that the way that you did it as well, and sort of conducted it, wasn't it?
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than my bumbled research, it took months. But no, yours was good. Very cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed doing it. So before then, because I was doing like our history, before then it was we started teaching together at the Kennel Club, didn't we? And that was 2009, I think.
Was it? I don't remember because I know we had, because obviously
Might
that
have
was
been
with the
2008. Because I can't remember, because I took over the guild and I started running the Gilded Dog Trainers.
blimey, I forgot about that. Yeah, I don't know when it was.
And then we did the we did the balanced dog training. What do you call it? Campaign, didn't we?
Yeah, balanced intelligent dog training
Balanced
campaign.
intelligent dog training, and then we did and we taught together at Kennel Club for years.
We did. No, I remember the first ones because obviously the Cambridge Institute was originally in Cambridge with Charlie teaching and stuff, and
Yes.
then we took over, as you said, wrote the courses, took over that, and initially we all supplied our own dogs, didn't we, for people to work with? Do you remember?
And that was a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, that was a nightmare. We don't do that anymore. They have to bring their own, which is much easier.
Yes. I mean, I can remember like Angus. I mean, he was the fluffiest blonde you could imagine in a golden retriever. He was absolutely beautiful. And I can remember him dragging someone the full length of the Kennel Club building.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know.
It was so funny.
We've had it as well. Do you remember with some of the Rottweilers we've had and stuff as well?
Yes, I can remember one trainer, not far away from me.
That's
and
what I was thinking of.
Was it when she couldn't get the dog to do anything?
No, it's quite.
She's a positive only trainer now.
Yeah, well now she wouldn't stand a hope in hell then of getting him to do anything.
No, I know, but she couldn't then, could she?
No. It was quite fascinating actually because all the dogs we had at the time, they'd all done their Gold Good Citizens and all done various other working aspects and stuff, weren't they? And quite, well trained and obedient. And actually, with novice handlers or students, it was it didn't take very long for them to start just mugging everybody for food or just doing what they wanted to do and going weeing up a fence. And
they turned into thugs. I mean, they were going and crotch sniffing, lifting people up by the crotch and barging them and pulling them. And
yeah, after a 2-day workshop, you'd end up with a completely different dog than you started with. Well, yeah, that's why we stopped doing that.
It was.
Yeah, difficult. But no, we had some really good times out there and met some really cool people, didn't we? Lovely people.
Great people. And we did, oh my God, we did the Kennel Club. The Kennel Club were doing the educational, I can't remember what it was called now. It was the educational something or other for the KCI program.
Oh, no, the preferred education provider.
Yeah, I mean, we both got that. But like the CIDBT got it and Training Love for Life got it as well separately. No, when we did the talk at Crufts, we did it 2 years in a row, didn't we? Do you remember?
KCI Career Zone.
The Career Zone.
Yeah, we did. Oversubscribed. We had 200 delegates, didn't we, in one of them?
That was so funny because we were sitting in the aisle and I can remember because we used to start it with the Baha Men, didn't we, who let the dogs out?
Yeah.
Really loud and like there's real thumping music going on. And we got told off, didn't we?
Oh, did we?
Do you remember they came in and they said, "You've got to turn this music down, it's far too loud, it's interfering with the show."
With the show. Oh God, no, I don't remember that. My memory's dreadful.
Do you not?
No, I don't.
I do. It's so funny.
No. Oh, we often get told off, don't we? Yeah. No, I don't remember that. But I enjoyed that. That was good. Good event, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, we did. So we had to do 2 on the same day because it was oversubscribed.
Yeah, starting at like 8 o'clock in the morning, wasn't it, or something? The first one.
Yeah, something ridiculous. And that was the year I took Angus, and he won. He came 3rd in the Basque Ring. And
was that the same year then? So you had your dog there as well.
Year.
Oh my God, that was busy.
I know.
Oh God, because we had to sit on the career zone, didn't we? Outside, once we'd done the talk, we sat in the zone thing for giving people advice and stuff.
No, it wasn't the same year. It must have been the next year.
We did it 2 years, didn't we? The career zone.
We did it 2 years in a row. I think it might have been the next year.
Then it closed. The career zone closed, didn't it? They didn't do it anymore. But yeah, and I remember you in the breed ring, Crufts. Wow.
I know. Prancing around.
I know. Did you enjoy it?
I think so. I lost Angus not long after it, so it was a fantastic memory.
Yeah.
Of having him in the ring. But it was so funny because my friend Christine, who breeds the Goldies, she was sitting outside and she said, the amount of people who are saying, "Oh, I bet that dog's never done a day's work in its life." Look, it's really flouncy, because it was a big flouncy blonde,
Yeah. Oh,
and
well,
it was in with all these working dogs,
well, you couldn't have entered if you hadn't done anything, could you?
No, you've got to have a signed testament from your gamekeeper to say that you contribute to the shoot.
Yeah.
And he was an awesome shooting dog.
But it's just because you did your ringcraft practice, didn't you? And cut his tail, had his tail cut, so it was all neat and
I know.
proper.
He was not like the usual Angus who had like big, long, tufty sideburns and raggy ears, and he had like a raggy tail, and he had hobbit feet.
Oh God, no! All sorted out.
And
that was.
Christine totted him up for me.
Yeah, no, I remember. I came down to your house in Wiltshire, and saw you, and you were showing me his tail trim.
I know. She showed me how to trim the tail, and I never did it very well. And I couldn't do his ears. I was so frightened of snipping them. So Christine, because you hold the ears up and then you kind of trim them like that.
Go around it. Yeah, I'm not a dog
couldn't, and you trim in here as well. I mean, to me, he used to. If I get another Goldie, I would really like to call him Hank after the X-Men, the Doctor in the X-Men called Hank. He's got blue hair and he's got all these fluffy
those whiskers,
sideburns. Yeah.
Oh, you're getting another retriever then? You often allude to that.
I would really like another retriever. We nearly, when we got Emrys, we weren't ready for another Goldie. Kenny's definitely not ready for another Goldie yet.
No. Oh.
But
no,
maybe it's next. We'll wait until Dante's a bit older, and then we might think about another puppy, but not at the minute.
No. I qualified for Crufts last year, by just FYI.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Are you going?
I know. I was supposed to go in 2023, but no, I didn't go. Just because the logistics of work and all the rest of it. Plus, I hadn't done any ringcraft training really, so it was a bit of a shambles. Because to be honest, it's quite difficult, isn't it? It's not. You don't just go and stand in the ring and
No.
hope for the best. I mean, you've really got to know what you're doing and present your dog properly and place the dog and all the rest of it. And no, I hadn't done enough preparation, and it was just too difficult having the dog there and working there and stuff as well. So no, but it's it's on my CV. Qualified a dog for Crufts.
That's brilliant. I hadn't thought of putting that on my CV, but I will.
God, qualified a dog, and you actually went. That's the two things.
And got placed.
And got placed. Yeah, amazing.
And got placed.
Yeah, no, I didn't. So, why Gundogs anyway? Where did that? What? So prior to meeting, ever since I've known you, obviously you've always had Gundogs and done Gundog training classes in the rain and the car. I mean, I never used to envy you at all. You used to do all that in Marlborough, 3 days a week from God knows what time till God knows what time in the freezing cold, and you were always buying new clothes and new gloves. And I've just found this hand warmer, and I've just done this. And I think, just stay indoors, love. It's horrible.
I know. Why Gundogs? Well, when I had my horse, we went to a show, and my friend was driving the horse box, and she got this little black Labrador called Barney.
Oh, sounds cute already. Yeah,
really cute. And he sat on my lap. He was a wee puppy. We took him with us, and he sat on my lap. He cuddled up on my lap on the way to the show, and I was hooked. That was it. That was it. Before then, I'd always had crossbreeds.
Yeah, and that was it. That was done. Deal done.
Black Labrador. That was it. The look of love. And then, so I tried, and I'm really glad I didn't get the same breed, like the same line as Bonnie, although he was related through the sire.
Mm-hmm.
So I then went looking, and they got me in touch with Jill Stagg down in Bewley, and I went down to see her before, because we were living in Worthing at the time. This was like pre-New Zealand. Went down to see Jill. Her little dog Willow, we didn't know if she was pregnant or not, came over, got some healing from me. Beautiful yellow lab, and had one of her puppies, had Bart, the infamous Bart. And I had no plans whatsoever of doing any kind of gun dog work with them at all.
No.
And I went to went shooting.
And now that's the bane of your life, isn't it? People buying gun dogs are not planning to do any specific.
I speak from experience.
Yeah.
But I went down to see Jill with a puppy in the shooting season. It was so funny. I turned up my bright red puffer jacket, and she lent me one of her jackets because like, let's not go shooting in a bright red puffer.
Yeah.
And,
Oh dear. No, you've got to wear tweed, haven't you?
I don't have tweed. I don't wear tweed at all.
Oh God, I thought if you're not tweed, you're not coming in.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's really funny when we did the photos for the Pet Gundog book, for the advanced one, because I always wear jeans when I'm training. And Nick Ridley, who was doing the photos, he says, I'm not taking a photo of you as a picker up in blue jeans. So we got Darren to do the photo of a picker up because he was in like beige, he was in fatigues.
Yeah.
And I wear either dark green jeans or black jeans when I'm going shooting. But I still wear jeans. But we were standing, I can remember we were standing under a tree gossiping, me and Jill. And Willow went on a runner, which is where the legs are still working, but the wings have been chopped, so they can't fly. I know you're pulling a disgust face, sorry.
Yeah.
But it was amazing because this pheasant was running like hell for leather through the woods, and there was Willow behind her with her mouth open, and it just scooped this pheasant up on the move, turned around and brought it back and just sat up in front of Jill. It was like, I want my dog to be able to do that.
And that was it, was it?
Done. That was it.
Yeah.
Hooked.
Even
though it took me another 3 years to be able to kill a bird.
Yeah, no, not
that was it, and like I don't shoot. I mean, I shoot clays, but I don't shoot birds.
No.
And I do find it really difficult to dispatch a bird. I won't dispatch ducks. I still don't do duck flights or anything.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it. No.
It's your job to make sure that they don't have a long drawn out death. So it's our job to dispatch them. And that's what I think when I do it. I just do it for the dogs. So that's why Gundogs, was like little black Labrador, absolutely fell in love.
Yeah.
What about you? Why did you switch from Shepherds to Rotties?
The reason was, I've always had German Shepherds, that was the one dog that I always wanted, as a kid. And
because you had two when I met you, didn't you? You had Rogue and not Rogue.
Zach and Vico when I met you, yeah. And where was I? What was I going to say? So always that was the dream dog, really. And then through sort of breeding and changes, I mean, back in the day it was an Alsatian, so I wanted an Alsatian, and had German Shepherds. And then I did a British Institute professional dog training instructor course and took my Shepherds with me. And there were quite a few Rottweilers on that course. Mm-hmm. And I just thought, I'd always quite like Rottweilers anyway. I found them quite fascinating because when I was younger, there was a lot of stuff obviously about them in the press. There were lots of dog attacks and things in the sort of late 80s and whatever. And yes, I found them quite interesting and thought they were really strong, sort of powerful looking, healthy looking dogs. Mm-hmm. And that was it. Got one of them and got another, got another one after that. And kept going. So that's it really. So yeah, they're quite quite addictive apparently to seem. I do have a fairly addictive personality anyways. You
don't. Do you?
I don't have an addictive
just a little. But I'm the same because I get quite obsessive, don't I?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think I'm obsessive. I don't know, I might be. I'm a lot of things actually. I'm a real mess. Yeah, no, I do, yeah.
So do you find them like very different because although they're both like guarding dogs, they're very different breeds as well. So do you find them different to live with? Do you find like the way you have to train them and socialize them very different? Yeah,
the Shepherds are much easier to live with generally. They're nicer with other dogs generally, as long as you do your socialization and stuff properly. Obviously, a lot of problems with German Shepherds generally with dog on dog issues, but if you do it properly, they're much nicer with other dogs. Easier with visitors, things like that. Rottweilers are more pushy, bullish, in your face, use their body weight against you. Not in a bad. They just are big, powerful. I suppose that their heritage is cattle droving dogs, isn't it? So they use their body and their physical power. So yeah, they're very, very different really to live with. But they shed way less, so that's a plus. Oh my god, yeah. I mean, do you remember Zach? I don't think you'd ever been to my house no, you hadn't been here when I had.
No, but I remember Vico.
Yeah, well, with Zach, he was a white shepherd, as you know, and I used to say, don't touch the dog. Hair would just go, and you'd have it in your mouth, and it'd be all up your trouser legs. You'd have to hoover. You used to hoover the house like twice a day. I mean, that was crazy. That was. But yes, I don't have to do that now.
Wow. What's that fur like? Because I can remember with Angus, because Goldie's shed a lot, the shake, and you just get this big cloud of blonde coming off them. Or with Angus, he did anyway. And but then that with Labrador hair, which is quite sharp and dense, so Angus's hair would fly up, whereas the Labrador's drops. It's quite heavy.
Yeah.
But it used to tumbleweed. Do you know what I mean? You'd have like tumbleweeds on the floor that'd all curl up on like lino and stuff.
The same as the German Shepherd. You'd come down, you'd go to bed, the house was clean, you know what I mean? And you'd come down in the morning, like open the kitchen door, and as you opened the door, the whole floor would just move, and it would be, in the corners and, under the telly and all the rest of it.
Yeah, it was like our Goldies with, but the difference in the fur, like with a Labrador, and I can remember my brother had a German Shepherd, and the hair would be so sharp and strong it could get embedded in you.
Yeah, what, the Shepherd?
The Shepherds, and also sometimes the Labradors as well. The guard hairs can.
No, I didn't find that with the Shepherds, but I did have the long coat Shepherd, so I suppose that was more akin to Angus's type coat.
Mm-hmm. But Vico wasn't long-haired, was he?
No, he wasn't. But they do have a very thick coat, don't they? Very dense undercoat and things. But no, he didn't molt too badly. But I used to take him to the groomer, and they obviously with their magic blaster get all of that. I mean, blaster. He used to look amazing. I mean, literally, when he came back from because we always used to, when we were running courses, didn't we? We always had to have our cars. Lovely. We had our cars valeted, we had our dogs groomed, we even brushed our teeth. We went all out.
Yeah, I didn't brush my hair though.
No, we've never done that. But no, when I used to pick him up from the groomer, I say Bill as well, my little Pomeranian, and they used to come out, like two of them. It looked amazing. And then Bill would go and lay in a puddle, and that was the end of that.
That was the end of that. Yeah, I've got some great photos of Angus up to his eyes in mud.
Yes, yeah.
Looked very wolfy.
Yeah. I know. No, it's not easy, is it, keeping them clean?
No. And I'm just thinking what else we've done. Talking about our history before we stop.
Oh, we've done lots of stuff with dog safety. We've spoken at the National Dog Warden Association conferences. That was hard work.
Funny.
It was both of those things, yeah. Funny and hard work. That was
so funny because I can remember I was insisting I really wanted to talk about rattling the gate.
I know you did. I just thought, what are you talking
cringed.
But
we got thanked. We got thanked for reminding them of the basics.
Oh God, we're talking to I don't know, there's 100 odd or whatever of these dog wardens that are very experienced, and we're telling them to rattle the gate. We can't just go prepared with that.
But it's important,
It is important, and they did.
You rattle the gate.
They did like it, but no, it's just hilarious. Hilarious. What are we going to talk about? Tell them to rattle the gate.
Rattle the gate. That's not a Geordie accent, Ross. I don't know what it is, but it's not a Geordie one.
No, nearly. I can't. No. I can only do Treat My Life.
Indeed. Indeed. You say better than I do.
That's my repertoire. End of.
I was going to talk to you about Dog Day actually, because we set that up. We did the campaign. Oh, it must be about 5 years ago now.
I think it's probably longer than that. The Put the Camera Down campaign.
Put the Camera Down campaign. I was going to get it out there again, in light of this XL bully attack on the young girl. Yeah. Because it's not just, I think, because I was thinking of scheduling it, maybe one, because we've got 13 campaigns of it, 13 videos. Right. And I was thinking it's time to put it out, maybe it's one a day over the next 2 weeks, because just to highlight that it's not these huge dogs that are issues. It's every dog that we have to be careful of, and not even with attack. And there was a case we talked to, because we used to be in touch with the communication workers union, didn't we, the CWU, a lot at the time. And there was a case where there was a child killed, but it turned out that it wasn't attack. The dog suffocated it. It sat on it, leant on it, didn't it? It rolled over onto the child and suffocated the child.
Rings a bit of a bell. Rings a bit of a bell. Can't really.
And then there was the other one from years ago as well, where it was a Jack Russell and a Staffy tore a child apart, but that was because of the nappy. Do you remember? It was it ate the nappy and just kept eating, which was horrific. But I just think it would be good to get it out again, because I don't think there's very many big dogs on there, and that's primarily little dogs.
Yeah,
and bad owners.
Do you remember that film we've got with that big one? I don't know if it's a Dogo Argentino or something. I can't. Do you remember that bit, that woman's face, the news reporter's face?
the news anchor woman.
Yeah.
Yes. Because she went over and she went, "Aren't you lovely?" And she grabbed hold of this dog's face, and the dog was like this as she was going towards it.
Yeah.
And she pulled the dog's face, and it took her lip off, didn't it? Took her bottom lip off.
Yes. No, it's really difficult. I mean, I liked all the stuff that we did with dogs. I liked doing some of the stuff with Royal Mail that we did. I liked doing the social services and stuff like that, sort of doing those talks and workshops with dogs and things. But it's quite difficult, isn't it? 'Cause it's quite frustrating, because, people the whole idea with put the camera down is to be present, stop filming your kid being an idiot but with your dog, be present in the room. And, well, since we started that campaign, whenever that was, 5, 6, whatever years ago, things are much worse, aren't they? Faced with dog attacks, recorded bites, and much worse stuff. Really bad.
That one, can you remember? It came about because of the woman. I saw a video of a woman videoing her 2-year-old child crying its eyes out, and she videoed the child pouring the dead goldfish down the toilet and flushing it, and the child was beside itself, and she was more interested in filming it than consoling her child. And I thought it was disgusting. And so we had a chat, and that was it. We then spent years researching YouTube, looking for these videos to well,
they're not hard to find, to be honest, are they?
They're not hard to find now, but
do you remember that one that we used in the original film that we did, that we used to play at the conferences and stuff, with that Rottweiler with the little kid jumping up and
down on it,
literally bouncing on it, and the parent, you can hear in the background the parents laughing and stuff. It just, it's just, can't believe it, can you?
I know. I thought you were on about the one with Victoria Stilwell, where I got a wrist slap from the Kennel Club when I was a mentor at the time.
Yeah, we got told off for that, didn't we? Having that in there,
because I was a mentor for the KCI scheme, and there was a complaint made against me. How can she do this when she's a mentor for the Kennel Club?
Yeah, well, because it's the truth. That's how. Because
it was the truth.
We did. I got called into the Kennel Club. I got called in for a meeting.
Did you? What for?
With Catherine. Can't remember their names now. Catherine.
Oh yeah. I know who you mean.
There was 3 or 4 of them. Yeah, about that, really.
I do remember, because we ended up changing it and taking out the person.
Yeah.
But we kept everything else. So we didn't take Victoria Stilwell out, but we did take this about
the other person.
The Kennel Club person, didn't we?
She was also a KCAI representative, or whatever she was at the time.
She was a mentor at the time.
We did take her out. We didn't have to, but we did. But got told off again, didn't we, for that?
I know.
But no, it's is what it is, really, isn't it? But it's
what happens when you highlight the stuff that's going on, the bad training.
Yeah. No, it is. But I don't know. It goes on, doesn't it? Goes on and on, doesn't it? This, issue. And I think it's, I had a phone call yesterday with a well, not yet, the day before yesterday, it was in the Telegraph yesterday, just about the XL bully incidents and things like that. And talking to them, they always want to get to this kind of, why are these dogs so dangerous? Why is that, what can we do? Should we ban the dogs? And you're like, you're looking in the wrong place. Do you know what I mean? You're
looking at the wrong end of the lead.
Yeah, you're looking in the wrong place. You know, people in, polite society don't go and get an XL bully from someone down the pub or whatever else, and then the next day it's in your garden playing with your 6-year-old child. I mean, that's ridiculous. And it's always, as we've said with Dogsy, really, it's always about education, not legislation, isn't it? Legislation affects things after the event. Education, needs to happen prior to anything.
Yeah.
But
and I still think I mean, it's really difficult. When I lived in down under, we had, do you know the tags that you like strap the plants to the sticks on, where you pull them, the cable ties? Right, it was some. I knew what I was on about.
That was like not even. That's like some bizarre level of English. That was okay. I know what you mean. Okay, but
you know what I'm about, the cable ties, yeah. So we had like little fat, short cable ties.
Yeah,
and they had a number on it, and they were a different colour each year. And what you had to do was attach it to your dog's collar.
Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah,
and it meant that the dog wardens, when they were driving around, because when we were there, they still had dog wardens, and they would drive around. They could be able to see straight away if your dog was registered or not, because they could see the colour on the tag, a colour tag on the collar. Yeah. And what you did is you attended a responsible dog ownership course, and you got your license for half price.
Yeah.
And so the motivation was there to go and get your responsible dog ownership little booklet, which I've still got mine. And then when you went to license your dog every year, you took your booklet with you, and you got half price licenses, you see, which is great.
Yeah.
But only responsible dog owners would do it.
Yeah. But that's always the fly in the ointment.
This is the problem. It's not so much. There needs to be accountability for people who are not being responsible dog owners, rather than just like, oh well, never mind.
Yeah. There's nobody to police
on everything.
it.
There's no accountability on anything.
No, there's nobody to police it. Like you said, we don't really have dog wardens anymore. You certainly haven't got one in every borough or every town or whatever. And no, it is. I think it's like everything else, isn't it? Like my ULEZ charge and everything that I like to moan about. It's only the responsible people that do these things. So if they said, I'm all in favour for a dog licence, and I think particularly with certain, you should have like a category A dog, which is your, the easier kind of smaller breeds and things like that, up the levels into your category D dog, whatever, which is your
over a certain weight.
Yeah, your Ovcharkas and your Akitas and your whatever else. Then if you want to own one of those breeds, then you have to do a whole nother level of you have to understand a lot more than you have to understand to own another dog. So people would do that if they wanted a certain breed, wouldn't they? And they'd go and do, but it's only the responsible people that do. Everyone else just goes and buys, an XL bully for $2,000, for $5,000, whatever it is, and then just get on with what they're doing and don't do anything really. Don't raise the dog correctly or invest any time in training, do they?
No.
So there we are. We've come full circle and ended on a right miserable note.
Come right back to the beginning.
Yeah.
So what's next, Mr. McCarthy? What's next?
What for me?
Well, I was actually thinking for us, in relation to the podcast, but it can be all about you if you want.
Well, I do, that is my favourite subject, clearly. But for the podcast, I think next, I don't really understand the question, to be honest. I think the next episode.
Okay, so next time, we're going to be talking about puppies and choosing a puppy and selecting a breeder and.
Yeah, we're starting at the beginning, aren't we? Of kind of where you need to start with when thinking of obtaining a dog, and kind of best practice, I guess, throughout that.
Yeah, cool. And I'm going to throw you completely off kilter now, and I'm going to do a little quick fire round with you and ask you some questions.
All right, throw me under the bus. Off you go.
What'd you say?
No, go on. I said you're going to throw me under the bus.
I will. Right. What's your favourite film?
Favourite film? Oh God. Oh God. Ask me another. I'll come back to
it. What's your favourite song?
Oh God. There's bloody hundreds of them, isn't there? Hundreds. Probably.
Which one came to mind straight away?
Weak by SWV.
Oh, I don't know that one.
No, Sisters with Voices. It's an old song. Yeah, Weak. But I like, yeah, loads of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, hard to choose a favourite.
What's your favourite colour?
Pink.
To make the boys think.
It's like it was, yeah, it's yeah, not the most massive. No, yeah, I don't know why. I like, yeah, pink is my favourite.
Have you seen Barbie yet?
No,
Oh, it's
haven't
great.
haven't got an outfit.
It's brilliant.
I saw you went with Callum.
Yeah, we're both all pink.
People, it's really mixed, isn't it? A lot of people said like it's really amazing, and other people are like, well, that's a load of old nonsense.
It was quite emotional in place. So it's very girl power. Lovely.
It's quite, isn't there quite an undercurrent of like a sensible kind of,
Yeah,
whatever going on? Yeah, no, that's cool.
really good.
What's your favourite film?
Jumanji.
Jumanji. Yeah, you always say that.
Jumanji, definitely.
No.
Definitely.
And your colour's blue?
Yeah. People think it's purple, but it's actually blue.
And your favourite song is some really hideous, hardcore, heavy something or other, isn't it? I should imagine.
No, it's not. It's Procol Harum. I can't remember what it's called now. Wait, I shade of pale.
Oh, is it?
Mm.
Oh, interesting.
Mm.
I'm still trying to think about my favourite film. I might have to come back to you on that one. It'll be an old one.
No, Jumanji with the new one with The Rock, like the first of the new ones, because he's done two of the first. Yeah, Jack Black just makes me laugh so much.
Yeah. Oh, I like loads of rubbish like The Holiday and stuff like that. That could be one of my favourite films.
I like The Holiday.
Yeah, I like crap like that. Yeah.
You Before Me's out of like the rom-coms, my favourite rom-com.
You Before Me.
Mm.
I haven't seen that. Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, I'm not into like horror films and stuff like that. I think life's hard enough already without watching a load of.
That's a really beautiful film. Emily, God, my memory's rubbish.
Blunt.
No, the other one who was in Game of Thrones.
Don't
know. She plays a girl who looks after a paraplegic, and it is just wonderful.
Okay, rings a bit of a bell. Maybe I've seen it.
Really good. Anyway, shall we stop talking and crack on?
We're up to 45 minutes. We must be, so we need to
easily
end this. Yeah. So I shall see you next time then, when it's all about puppies and positive, nice stuff.
Positive, nice stuff, indeed. So, until next time.
See you then.
See you then.
Thanks for listening. It's not just Gundogs and not just guard dogs, but all things canine, as we hope you have discovered. Please like, share and subscribe and help us spread a bit of common sense back into dog ownership. And a review wouldn't go amiss either. Catch up with Les and Ross again in about 14 days for more canine conversations. Until next time, stay well and enjoy your dogs. Any dog-related questions or topics, just drop an email to talk@cfba.uk or message us via facebook.com/Gundogs and Guard Dogs podcast.